I had loom knitted this vest several years ago and it just didn't fit right on me. So it's been in my closet and it has never been worn this entire time. I finally decided to take it apart and redo it. It's frogging time. Apparently that's a term for pulling apart knitted items and salvaging the yarn. Pretty cool, and I've always wanted to try it. At first I thought it would be a simple and quick process, but nope, it wasn't. I started off with the camera vertically to make a nice little reel, but then I decided to keep it for the rest of the project. Just pulling the yarn to undo it wasn't as quick as I thought it would be, especially since it was intertwined with the back and the front. I felt like it took an hour, and it probably did. I even ended up snapping the yarn in a couple places, but that's fine. Everything was a mess, but I finally wrapped things up, literally. I also found the rest of the original yarn. On to the next step, finding out the ratio of loops to inches. This was actually the second test strip, after I figured out how much shrinkage there was and how to give it an even edge. That is, adding 2 loops as I was finishing the edge off. Now to actually start this project off. I created a slight hem with 3 rows and looping the base over. This keeps the ends from curling up. This piece will be the back of the vest. I also decided to make this vest full length versus cropped. Oh, I forgot to mention that I've not actually ever learned to knit or crochet, despite finding a crochet hook in a couch when I was a kid. I'll learn something other than connecting chain stitches one of these days. Anywho, I reduced 1 on each side for the waist, then added back 2 for the chest back. When I hit the desired length to the arm, I started looping over to make the armhole. I proceeded to go up, reducing a tad to the shoulder. At the nape of the neck, I split in the middle to finish the shoulders. After mirroring on the other side, the back is finished and I started testing out the front. I used the next size up loom to make it easier to handle. However, after an hour I noticed that the spacing between the prongs was a tad larger, causing the loops to be bigger, and I realized rather late that it was significant. So I had to pull out all that work and restart with the proper loom. Now that I redid that, I moved on. I integrated the back into the front as I went along. I noticed the front getting a little bit longer than it should be, and after 4 hours the last time I undid my project, I was afraid I'd have to do it again. I did in fact cry, and then took a gamble by carefully taking each loop off the loom. Even though it was a little wonky to me, it wasn't bad enough to undo all those hours. After carefully putting the project back on the loom, I left a space on the loom for the bust area. This will add more room for the bust towards the middle versus the side. I added another space a few rows in to repeat. A few more rows later, I turned around and reduced the loops. As to where I would be placing the neckline, I chose a deep V because I wasn't sure if I'd have enough yarn. At around the same place, I started the front arm section, also splitting off at the neckline. I did have a spare ball of yarn that I could work on both sides of the neckline at the same time. Now to try on the vest one more time and see how the shoulder straps are coming together. The front shoulders are a bit too long, so I took out a few rows. Then I finished the shoulder edges. To connect the shoulders, I took the plastic needle that came with the kit and sewed them together. I used the needle to also weave in the other loose threads. Somehow I still had this much yarn left over. It's finally done and ready to try on. This fits and looks a lot better than the original. This took so much time and effort, especially with the trial and error, to make it good enough for me. Was it worth it? Maybe yes. Sometimes the worth might not be the finished project, but the journey to create it.